Good evening, everybody. Welcome with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or the very first, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions. But not everyone uses logic. For that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, I want to let everybody know that the subscriber only mode has been disabled. Meaning, anyone, whether you be a subscriber or a subscriber, if you wish, you can enter your comments in the chat or you can join the panel after I drop the link. If you have not done so, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So, therefore, whenever I do prepare content, you will have the opportunity to either catch it live or catch it on the playback. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those on social media. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who are listening to this. Okay, as you can see by the thumbnail, tonight is open discussion. What does that mean? That means we will talk about anything and everything that you wish to talk about. Now, however, there are certain rules that I'm going to insist that we all one. Please do not overtalk anyone on the panel, okay? Because everybody's viewpoints matter. Number two, do not disrespect anyone on the panel or on. Number three, if for some reason that you decide to use as your avatar um, female genitalia or male genitalia or make any attempt to show any you will be removed. It is that simple. Okay, and it's unfortunate I gotta keep mentioning these rules because to express their point of view. So, as I stated before, tonight is open discussion, meaning we will talk about anything and everything. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is, excuse me, I'm going to drop the link and then we'll see if anyone wishes to join the panel. Now, what I'm going to do as my first topic for tonight is 2022 midterm elections. Now, for those of you that's been following the news, unless you have been hiding behind a rock or whatever, or you have um, endured a long period of slumber for several weeks now, we kept hearing the information how this year is going to be a red wave, and there's been a great deal of talk how the Republicans are going to take over the House and the Senate. To be perfectly honest, There is some ration. There was some rationale behind it because let's keep it a buck. Let's take a look at a lot of promises that the Democratic Party under this current administration promised. Okay, the first thing is the raising the national minimum wage to $15 an hour. Okay, unfortunately, that was one of the things that went on, that went on the garbage heap. And of course, there was a lot of this discussion regarding student loan debt relief. There has been some talk, but for a while that was derailed. And among many different areas, instead of talking about dealing with which are the serious problems, which is that this country is currently in a recession. This country is dealing with people who cannot pay their rent, they cannot pay their mortgage, people who are having a hard time paying for their medication. And I see here we have Magic Malata. Good evening. Thank you very much for stopping by. And I want to let everybody know that Magic Malata has her own YouTube channel, and she does talk about biracial issues and how to bring healing within the biracial and multiracial community. So, what I'm going to ask, if you have not done so, please subscribe to her channel. Magic, if you wish to join the stream, the link is in the chat. Hopefully, you'll grace us with your presence and give us your words of wisdom. So we kept hearing on and on and on and on how the Republicans are going to take over the House and the Senate. Um, we didn't have much of a red wave, with the exception of some parts of New York. It was, basically the Democrats did better than what was expected. Let me just give you a case in point. Before the midterm elections, there were 48 Democratic senators with two independents, which which vote along with the Democrats, and 50 Republicans, with the vice president breaking the tie whenever it's needed. Um, the Democratic Party has gained one senatorial seat, so they will maintain control of the Senate. Now, when it comes to the House, that's still up in the air. There's a possibility that the Republicans may take over the House, but if they do, it's going to be a very small majority. Now, what I think is going to happen in either case, I hate to say this, not a great deal. And I base it on the fact that it seems like our politicians are too much into tribalism, and they are not in a position to put aside their differences to work for us, okay? Because unfortunately, um, they basically sold their soul to special interest groups, but that's just my personal take on it. Okay. You might disagree, you might agree, I don't know. That's totally up to you. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a recap of the streams that I did this week. Just give me a moment. Um, okay. Unfortunately, sometimes it takes time to do these things. Okay. Okay. So let's So last week I actually did 4 streams. One stream was what are your holiday traditions? And what we did was we discussed a lot of holiday traditions, mostly around Christmas, some around Thanksgiving. And what I did was I shared some of my family traditions that we shared when I was a child. And it was very interesting to learn about some of the other, other traditions. I want to back to say thank you very much. Okay. And then we did a stream where we did a shout out to the veterans. Okay. And the one that is that we need to honor the sacrifices that the men and women um, made, the armed forces, because first of all, technically speaking, they didn't have to do so. And when you think about it, the men and women they go through a great deal of difficulty. First of all, the preparation is very difficult. You have to be physically fit, and then if God forbid there is a war, that many times become injured both physically and mentally, and sometimes they shed blood in service of this country, and all this. So we will have the right to say what we want to say and live the life that we wish to live. And not only that, also regarding the fact that the families of these veterans, they go through a great deal because they go through months, sometimes years, without the presence of their loved ones. And then we did another stream regarding how to maintain your spirit during trials and tribulations. Okay. And the reason behind that is that at certain points of our life, we go through trials, we go through tribulations. Sometimes the problems are problems that we created, being laid off, whether going through a major health or experiencing a death in your family, also dealing with the loss of a loved one through divorce or the ending of a romantic relationship. So what we did was we discussed what other things they can to maintain our spirits. And the key is, first of all, is to remain calm, number one, no matter what is going on. Number two, be mindful that the problem or the tribulation is not permanent. And also, what really help us along the way, if we can remember so we can over. And then um, yesterday, I did a short stream which was completely in Spanish, which was open discussion. Basically, it was a short stream regarding. Um, oh, wait a minute! I see Golden Goddess is in the house. Good evening. Thank you very much for stopping by. And I want to let everybody know that Golden Goddess also has a YouTube channel So I'm gonna ask if you have not done so to please subscribe to her channel. And also, he also conducts I think it's a weekly podcast with Multi. And, it's just, it's interesting that she can find out the latest tea, so to speak. So if you have an opportunity, podcast, I'm going to subscribe to this. I think it's like $5 a month or something like that. G, if you wish to enter any comments. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's very interesting. In fact, I plan to subscribe to it this week. And what I'm going to do is, if you don't mind, I'm going to encourage the members of the Uncommon Folk to do the same. Okay? Yes, definitely. So, and unfortunately, I stated that it was the last time I was doing a stream in Spanish because unfortunately, and the name of the podcast is, excuse me, it is called Tea with Gigi and Multi. Okay, and I see she's here. Okay, so I just want to let everybody know that the views of those who appear on the panel are not necessarily those of the host of the channel. Any attempt to copy the material without the consent of the host is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your rights to your image. Some of the views people in my home might be considered. If you don't like the content, you can block the channel. And I'm going to bring in, if my Wi-Fi cooperates.
Hey, Jose.
Good evening. How are you doing tonight? Good evening, Joaquin.
Hey, I'm doing well, thank you. I've been really busy these past couple of days, so I've missed a couple of streams. So I was like, let me come over and show Jose some support. I got my little one in the background, so I'll be using the mute button. Hi, 18th letter.
Shout out to you, Gigi. How you doing? Shout out to my
Good,
YouTube dad,
you.
Jose Negron.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
Good to see you as well.
Gigi, if I have your permission, I'll be encouraging my supporters to support your podcast on a weekly basis. If you don't mind me doing that,
I appreciate it. I also will share some of your lives and stuff. I've been kind of busy, but I'll figure out something. I got to share something for you too to show that that support. Oh. Sorry, I got my baby in my ear.
It's okay. It's okay. Oh, before I forget, let me just let people know that the 18th letter also has a YouTube channel. So I'm going to ask if you have not done practice. Rakeem.
Okay, I think it just came back. I can hear now.
Guys, I'm sorry. I was having a little difficulty with my audio. Yes, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I keep missing your lives or videos. I never get a notification, 18th letter.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Did you? Okay.
The service sounds really bad. I can't hear you, Jose.
Yeah, I've been having problems with my Wi-Fi.
Always.
Have you hit the notification to all?
Yeah, I think I may have got like one notification once, but that's been a while ago. So I wasn't sure about that. I have to go over there and look at something and click on it and look at it and they'll probably start recommending it more. That's probably why. The algorithm's funny acting.
Yeah. Now, I was just this topic. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, the
Audio.
sound went out. Hello?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear
Um,
now.
Oh,
yes, actually, guys.
okay.
If anybody wants to, we'll be
Yeah.
doing a stream.
Unfortunately, my Wi-Fi. Oh,
Uh,
oh dear.
the 18th letter, are you Dominican or are you black? Because I'm not sure because there's a couple different people. I didn't know.
No, I'm Black American.
Okay.
And if anybody in the chat or anybody on the panel would like to stop over tonight, I'll be doing a stream. The title of my stream is going to be "Your First Crushes and Your First Exes." Your school first crushes and your first exes and everything, because I think a
Uh-oh.
lot of the times the race topic gets exhausted and all of that, and it can be very toxic. So I just wanted to do a fun live stream where everybody can come in and everybody can relate.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. You know what I'll do? I think I'll try to send a link to your personal email, so that way at least you will, you will be brought up to speed regarding my upcoming streams.
Are you talking to me or 18th letter?
To you, Gigi.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. But
So what are we talking about?
well,
What's the tea?
it's tonight it's open discussion night. So we can talk about anything and everything.
So what do you think about everything that's been going on in the space? Any opinions, Jose?
You know, I find it at times. At times, I find it very humorous. Particularly when I refer to it as an old, senile old man.
That's okay. My newest name is now Ghetto Goddess.
Oh my!
That's my newest name.
No, okay. I just want to acknowledge that Taino Knight is in the chat, but I swear I think I'm living rent free in some people's minds. And all I can say is, bless his heart.
Well, it's all promotion at the end of the day when people make videos on you.
Yeah, I know, but you know what?
So everybody I make videos on, you're welcome.
But look, the way I look at it, if I have haters, that means I must be doing something right.
Exactly. If nobody hates you, that means you are not making no waves. You're not making no waves if nobody's paying attention, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But when I find humorous, when it comes to people love to make snap judgments. Because I know you're not part of the Golden Spear, but people love to make snap judgments regarding biracial and multiracial people. I mean, but it's that
they will always
it's easy to comment
associate
when
me
you're
with the Golden
knowledge.
Spear. Yeah, well, they will always associate us with the Golden
I
Spear
understand.
because we built it. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I hear I hear you. But
so all these bitches that have so much shit to say behind the scenes, you bitches are eating off our plates. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay. And I see here we also have Malata Mermaid. Okay.
Mermaid.
Good evening. I think this is her first time here. First of all, if it is, welcome aboard to Uncommon Sense. Okay, I think we have someone who disagree.
I don't know who that
Can you
person
not
is unless they're under a different name. They probably don't even know what I'm talking about. Or if they do, they're under a different name because I don't recognize that name. And it sounds like a
Okay,
Spanish name, so they
actually,
probably weren't even here since the
well,
beginning.
actually, he appears quite a bit on my platform. He does have an interesting point of view. I would have what he's talking about. Okay, but let's keep it respectful. That's what I ask people.
Oh, that's fine. It's no big deal. Because I know he's not talking about what we've done because he doesn't know.
So, yeah. So, if you don't mind me asking, what was the motivation behind you developing your podcast with Multi?
We just want to expand. You should always try to grow, keep growing, keep moving. That's it. Just growing, doing enough, reaching out and expanding on other platforms. It's a little bit more private over there. There's no feedback. There's no trolls. There's no nothing. You can just go out there, be comfortable, say whatever it is that you want to say. And, you get monetized quicker. People support your stuff. That's one of the problems with this space is that nobody supports anybody in this space. You never see like YouTubers are like, if everybody in the chat gives $1, then maybe I'd walk away with something, right? But nobody even donates even $1. So you have to kind of expand and go to different platforms and do different things, so you can actually be compensated for your work in these spaces,
Yeah.
Because people will watch all your stuff in these spaces and they'll go and give their money to other YouTubers that are already successful.
Well, that's part of the reason why I try to do is that when I do see other YouTube creators that do appear on my platform, is that I try to encourage my audience to support them as well, because it's not just me. What it is we need to support each other. And I see here we also have the presence of Jay. I think this is his first time here on the platform, and he is my new subscribers. Thank you very much.
Jose, I'm trying to do this right now, but I'm telling you, my little one is like loud in the background. I'm trying to make it work, but little one is crunk.
Well, okay, but you know what? We all know a mother's work is never done.
Yeah, but it's best to leave your kids off of YouTube. Trust me, I've learned from experience.
Yeah. Well, thank you for stopping by. And actually, what I did on my platform, I added you as far as channels to be featured. So what I do is on my platform, I have certain YouTube creators which I feature, and you're one of those creators because I really do enjoy your content.
Oh, thank you, Jose. I appreciate that. You're so sweet. It's all about supporting each other. I appreciate that. Some people have whole Discords and stuff, and they still don't support people.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, you're always showing a great deal of love towards me, and you've even been very patient when I made those times when I actually put my foot in my mouth.
It's okay. We all get cranky on YouTube. It can be frustrating. I already know you by this point, Jose, so I already know when you're starting to get a little cranky. But like, let me go over there and tell Jose something because he's getting a little cranky.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. There have been times when I have not been my, how can I say it, Mr. Rogers type of self.
I'm very empathic, though. I can feel the energy from a mile away from people, you know?
Yeah.
So I know sometimes before they tell me. I see it coming.
Oh, I understand. I understand that. So are you still having trouble with the trolls, or because you don't appear that much?
No, I just
Well,
ignore the trolls at this point. I do my little stuff. I do my videos. I do my, my podcast. And if people are upset, then, I just let them rant and rave about it. And that's it. I just don't feed back into fighting with them. I just laugh about it. People like get upset when they're mentioned, but they forget that they signed up to be characters in this story. They're the ones who stood up in the crowd and said, "Hey, hey, hey, look at me over here." But then they want to get mad when you talk about them. So I don't care.
well, I like to think myself as someone with some thick skin, and I can I can take a joke as along with anybody else, and when certain individual make his remarks regarding me, basically what you're doing is you're giving me free press.
Exactly. So it's really no big deal. Well, what's going on? I want to talk about
Yeah.
bochinche or drama or nothing. What else is going on?
Okay. You already know that um hybrid the hero, or hybrid the vanquisher, or what, or any of his 25,000 different names that he liked to call himself. He
Mm-hmm.
referred to me as a senile white man when I'm Latino. And and the fact of the matter is they call my platform insignificant. um at least my platform never had to be deleted. Okay.
The shade,
Number
honey.
one. And number two, between his two platforms, I have 3 times more his subs.
You flexing on him, Jose? You
So
flexing on him?
no, I'm just keeping a buck. I'm just keeping a buck. And what I love about the growth, that it's been pure content. I have not gone negative on anybody. It's just simply trying to be the best version of me.
That's awesome. Keep going. Don't give up. Just be
Yeah.
consistent. It will all fall into place. Sometimes it just takes time to find your tribe. You know what I mean? But as long as you're consistent, you'll definitely accumulate, the audience that you want. It's better than that. It's better that way than just like trying to just do sub grabs. And, some people are real desperate. They'll go anywhere for some subs. But, I learned that lesson early on. Every sub isn't a good sub. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is very true. That is very true. I know there's some people that are alleged to have bought subs. Um, the way I look at it, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Okay. And when it comes to certain YouTube creators, it does take a certain length of time to reach an audience. Okay. But the
I
key
think they
is
said
to
the
be
average
true to
length is like
yourself.
2 years, right?
Hmm.
In order to like make it
It
somewhere.
could be. It could be. But, but I'm happy to say that so far I've gained 135 subs this year.
Yes. And I'm happy to say that I
Okay.
deleted my whole channel with over 2,000 people on it and my backup channel with over 500 people on it. And I'm already pushing 800. So I'll be monetized soon. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Well, soon I'll be subscribing to your podcast, and I'm going to encourage the uncommon folk to listen to your podcast as well.
Thank you, Boo.
No, it's okay. There's a lot of love here, on this platform, and and I know people misjudge you, but you know what? I would say, give the person a fair shot before you make a judgment.
Listen, you can't be on YouTube. I've learned this. You can't be like worried about what everybody thinks about you. You just have to, do whatever feels right to you. Stay true to yourself
Yeah.
so that you can lay down at night and be like, okay, I'm not selling out. I'm doing what's important to me. I'm doing what matters to me. And all the other shit will fall into place. Like I said, you'll find your own tribe. You know what I mean? You don't have to like bend backwards and twist sideways and all this to try to appease a bunch of people that really you'll never be able to please anyway, because everybody has different needs or desires or wants. You know what I mean? So you just got to do what makes you happy.
Yeah, I hear. Yeah, I hear you. And Joaquin's back.
Yeah, something's been going on with my signal today, so been having a few technical difficulties here and there. What were you guys talking about? What was the topic?
Just about staying true to yourself on YouTube
Um,
and not being overly concerned with subs and different things. Just stay true to yourself and you'll eventually build up your own tribe.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It depends on, what is your, what outcome you're looking for. Because you have a lot of people on here that they're willing to sell out their audience for views. They're willing to sell out their audience for subscribers. I've seen this with multiple different content creators over the years. You know, I
And
say
other
if
content creators will stab you in the back as well. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I don't mind mentioning their names, but for instance, one which is one I really can't stand. She has a very large platform now, but Chrissy. I remember when Chrissy was pro-black, and then she went to the colorism situation, and then she dipped her feet in different, trending topics on YouTube to be able to keep, to get more different audiences and everything like that, and then she of course blamed black men for everything, and so like people like that you have to be very careful about, because they, their motive is, clear in their actions. Some people on here just to feed people garbage just to get their subscriber count up. So if it depends on
Yeah.
what your motives are. If you're just looking to talk to a small group of people or build a platform, because a lot of people want to do this for money. It's a lot of people that are motivated by money on this platform. So it depends. It depends what after. Me, I just speak amongst the few people that listen, give my opinion on certain things, and that's it. I don't plan on using this platform to build a base to be able to get monetized for money or anything like that. So because
Yeah.
with that comes a big responsibility of, now you got to keep the content going constantly. You become pretty much a media base. You're a media base, so you have to keep pumping out content. You have to keep feeding your audience, which whatever topics that you build up your based audience on, and different things like that. And I don't know, I get my money in other ways. So
Some people are here for pleasure, for a hobby. Some people are here for business. Some people are here for both. And, I fall into the latter category. I don't come out here, to spend hours and hours and hours and 14, 15 hours editing a video to not eventually get some sort of a payback for it. I'm definitely here for my business, but business isn't everything. Cause like I say, if business is everything to you, then yeah, you'll sell out, and you won't stay true to yourself.
absolutely, Gigi, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with actually wanting to get monetized for content. My thing is for people that do it for the wrong reasons or put the wrong message out there. That's
Yeah. Hmm.
and I've seen that with a lot of
okay.
the sisterhood content creators. I'll just put it that way.
And I will counter that and say
Um,
I see that on
Tanya,
the other side as well, on both sides.
okay. Excuse me, Tanya and I has a question. In other words, what is your page and what are you defending? I don't know to whom that question is directed to, but
I think it was
if
to
it's
me.
directed to, okay.
I have
Okay.
I make biracial mixed light skin content. When we came to the space and we built the space, it was already there, but we just kind of, built it more, I guess you would say, kind of got the name out there, went around to bigger content creators, stayed consistent, live stream at least twice a week for a year, dropped at least 2 videos a week, just put in the work or whatever to build up an audience. And then from that, the point of it was to help other people out. So from there we would promote other mixed people. We would promote other mixed people.
Okay. Okay. It seems like a lot of people are doing streams tonight. I mean, but you know something, that's a good thing because we have a lot of people here in these YouTube streets.
It's something new and different because there aren't really biracial or mixed spaces, and the people that are content creators on these platforms they usually are, either white identified or black identified, and they don't really speak on our issues per se. They're pretty much speaking for the whatever side they choose to identify with. So that's why it's people come and they're like, oh, what's going on over here? We never seen nothing like this before, bunch of biracials talking shit, basically.
Okay. Actually, what I'm gonna be
Who asked
doing,
for our opinion for anything? Nobody asked. We're kind of like the forgotten, like little segment of the population that's steadily growing that will eventually probably be majority.
yeah,
So, there's that as well.
yeah. 2 weeks from tonight, I'm gonna be doing a live stream regarding what are the common issues that mixed people and Latinos have, because one thing I've discovered that we have some issues which are identical to both our communities. One of them has to do with self-identity.
I agree because I see a lot. I mean, even with mixed and multiracial people, a lot of them don't come into the place of actually owning that and being like, yeah, I'm mixed. Like I said, they usually identify one way or another, usually black, let's be honest, because it's harder to pass for white. But sorry, I got distracted because I'm doing something. So yeah, that's just pretty much the point, to get the voice out there. I'm sorry, I forgot what the last thing was saying because I lost my train of thought. So go ahead, 18 Flutter. Sorry. I'm multitasking right now.
Yeah, I'm doing the same actually. I was just grabbing something. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's anything wrong with that. Me personally, I never really spoke up on biracial issues because growing up, I always just saw biracial people as black people. I never saw. I have biracial people in my family. I've always saw them as that. I do understand there's some tension amongst the women, but for the most part, I never got involved in that type of stuff.
Okay, that's what it was about how we do have that in common, because a lot of Latino people don't really identify as being mixed race when they are as well. And a lot of mixed people or biracial people also don't really identify as that because they're usually identifying as black. So I would think that's one of the commonalities that we share,
And me
because I feel like
personally, and,
Latinos are more
and me
tribal,
personally, And me personally, I would think it has a lot to do with how you identify in the environment you grew up. If you have biracial people that more than likely grew up in a mostly black environment, and more than likely they identify with, just, with their black side. Um, And
Taino says, "What are our issues?" That is our issue. That's a lot of our issues of identifying one way or another, or picking and choosing sides instead of choosing yourself and representing yourself. That's one of the main issues that we have. And even Black people online are screaming out like, "Hey, you guys stop representing us. Stop, taking our image or whatever." And I can't even get mad at them for that, unless it's disrespectfully, conveyed. But other than that, like, I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like my feelings are kind of torn on that, because I do understand with the racial history of this country, how biracials have been used to kind of be looked at as the more aesthetically pleasing Black people in this media. But at the same time, it's been a lot of biracials that have stood up for Black Americans and have identified and as Black Americans and came, and
since the beginning.
Since the beginning, I will agree. But we've also had people within the biracial space that did look at themselves as not the same and, a better class of Black people historically. I'm not saying in recent years, but historically that has taken place as well. But I'm one of those people that, I never really view biracials any different. I feel it has a lot to do with your environment and where you grew up. Now, you might have more biracial people identifying as biracial if they grew up in the suburbs or if they grew up around different nationalities, but for the most part, a lot of biracial identify as Black because they grew up in urban environments. And, so it depends.
And Taino, like his little comment there, Latinos and Hispanics identify with nationality. Why can't mix people in blats, which is nod to the Jesse to the Jesse reference. I don't know if you guys caught that, but that's Jesse Peterson. But yeah, just because you guys are doing it that way, does that mean it's necessarily the right way? No. There's Hispanic and Latino people in this country, and they're not running around saying that they're American. They're saying they're Puerto Rican. They're saying they're Dominican. They're saying they're Mexican. Whatever it is, they're not saying, "Hey, I'm American." It's the same difference.
Yeah, Taino Knight is one of the most patriotic Latinos that I've seen on this space for a while.
Yes.
Jose, you're not going to walk into a room and somebody be like, "What are you?" And you're going to be like, "Oh, I'm American." You're going to be like, "I'm Puerto Rican," right? Everybody has an identity except biracial people. Let's just be honest.
I mean,
and that's what we're fighting for, our own identity.
Look, with Latinos, it's a different thing altogether, because we don't have the issue of the hang up with race that in our respective countries that's given here in the United States. I mean, we will identify ourselves as Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, and what have you. Now, mind you, Caribbean Latinos are completely different from Latinos from Central and South America.
I feel like it's a little. Hold on, let me take that off. Hold on, yeah. I feel like it's a little disingenuous when people are just like, "Oh, Latinos don't have these problems," and it's like, it's not true,
Yeah, I definitely agree. I've seen different. I definitely
yeah, and usually it's the whiter looking ones that say that, or in the middle. But if you go and talk to an Afro Latino, they're probably going to have a different experience and story. Let's be honest,
And also, one thing to bear in mind, that the Latinos that were born and raised in the mainland have a different experience compared to Latinos born in, say, in Latin American countries. And I see we have another guest. Good evening, Anthony.
Hi, Anthony.
Hey, how you doing? Could you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in the car. That's why I asked.
I just found your channel today, Anthony, when you commented on my post, so I subscribed.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I just started coming into these spaces, so I'm trying to get to know everybody. I just spoke with Jose the other day, so yeah, I'm trying to get to know everybody now.
Hey, what's going on, Anthony? How you doing today, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. What is Taino
And you're
Night here say?
biracial, right, Anthony?
I mean, yeah, I don't use that term, but yeah.
What term do you use?
I mean, I just say mix. I usually use mix, but
Oh,
I
okay.
see a lot of people in these spaces use biracial a lot, but it's just not this term I grew up using. So that's just why. I don't really have nothing against it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you think about the mulatto term? Is that offensive?
You know what's funny? Like I just recently started kind of warming up to the term because I feel like some people say, "Oh, it used to mean mule" and all this stuff, but I'm like, a lot of names used to have a negative kind of connotation to it. Like, some people say that same thing when it comes to black, right? Like, oh, it means death and all this stuff, but people are still proud to use it. So I feel like mulatto should be a term that we start using a lot more often than just biracial, because biracial is really ambiguous in itself, right? Like you don't there's a lot of different kind of biracials that have different experiences than someone who's like black and white.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, mulatto is specific. You know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, I like that term.
Okay. Good evening. Good evening, Fulana La Cubana. Thank you
Hey,
very
Fulana.
much for stopping by.
Shout out to you, Fulana. Fulana, I will be doing a live stream tonight if you want to stop by. I was supposed to be doing it right now, but I'm actually coming from the grocery store, so I'm running a little late. I'm on Color Folks time right now.
Oh, and Taito, I do identify as American. Don't get it twisted. I am very proud to be an American. I'm very um patriotic, all of that. Absolutely.
Mhm. So, Anthony, what's on your
But
mind?
I mean, is there a topic tonight, or is just you just said it's open, right? Open discussion.
It's open
Yeah, we're just free
discussion.
falling.
Let's see. I don't know. Give me a couple minutes. I'll come up with something. I just really just seen you live, and I was like, let me click the link and join the discussion.
Yeah. I'm actually getting back to the house, Fulana. I'll be starting as soon as I get back home. I'm about
So
five
I was
minutes
on
away.
Bluish's
Yeah.
live stream today, Bluish Gelato, and we were talking about all this, and they had a lot to say. Like, what do you guys think about that? Are people talking about the black and brown, not the black and brown, the brown and biracial unity, and a lot of people have a lot of thoughts on that. I mean, I guess they're acting like it's a new concept, like we didn't introduce that concept months ago, but hey, let's go with it, like it's a new thing. What do you guys think about it?
People look to be a little sensitive about that one. It's kind of strange to me, right?
I
Like
see.
all of a sudden, people want to claim mixed people now. Like, wait, where y'all going? Like, wait, hold on. Yeah,
When
that's
we first
crazy.
introduced the idea, it was like, no, we don't have anything in common with them. They got a different culture, blah, 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 you know?
I mean, we do have a lot in common. That's just the reality. Like the same way someone who's like
Um,
black with, two parents have a lot in common with someone who's Jamaican. You can't say that we don't have stuff in common with like Puerto Ricans or maybe like mulatto Panamanians, right? Like we definitely do.
Yeah, because as mixed people, it's weird because we have a lot in common with a lot of people. It's like, I have things in common with white people, black people, and Latino people. It's kind of like the space we're in, being in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. I just want to acknowledge that Morena is in the house. Good evening. Thank you very much for stopping
Hey,
by.
Morena.
And I want to let everybody know that she also has a YouTube channel. So I'm going to ask, if you have not done so, please check out her channel.
Morena. She makes me laugh. I like her.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but here what I do is when I see another YouTube creator, I try to encourage what I call my audience, which I call the uncommon folk, to check out their content.
Yes, everybody go subscribe.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about like the conversation? Because like I said this on another channel, and I noticed that a lot of the people who don't want to unite, like even with black and brown, or even brown and I guess golden, right? Like it seems like the people who don't want to do it are like usually mestizo. Like that's what I've noticed. Like it's usually people that are like of like Mexican heritage or Central American, like if you don't know, the mestizo term, like Indian and like European mix. and I see a lot of hatred coming from like YouTubers with that kind of mix. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but that's what I've noticed.
What, like south of the border
Okay,
type?
well, one thing,
Like people who are like, like mostly mixed with like European and like
one thing
American
we
Indians.
I just mean like the Mexicans, the Guatemalans, those type of
Yeah,
people
yeah,
more so on YouTube. Yeah, they have more of an issue than, let's say, the Dominicans, the Puerto Ricans. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
My only issue with the situation is like, we're coming to the table to talk. Don't come to the table and act like we don't have anything to offer. I didn't like that. Like, oh, what do you guys, we don't have it. Like, we do have something to offer. We have our own freaking own sector. Like, I don't like weak
Exactly.
representation. So, like, don't put that on us unless it's the right representation for us, because I'm like over the tragic mulatto shit and I'm not going to feed into it at all.
Yeah, I
And
agree. I
there's
said
people
that.
on here that are doing that.
Yeah, I told that to Magic the other day, and I was like, we definitely have something to offer because I was like, the majority of mixed people usually come from middle class households. So we actually, if we all kind of gathered together, we would actually be a really wealthy class in the country. So I'm like, we definitely have a lot to offer. We're not like these homeless children who's like, oh, I don't have anything. No, a lot of us have wealth. A lot of us are gonna be, inheriting wealth. You know what I mean, from grandparents and stuff. Like obviously, hopefully they live long, right? But it's just the reality. Wealth is transferred in America. That's kind of how it works. But yeah, I don't like the whole we don't have nothing to offer kind of thing. Like, no.
No, and like I think that's why we got a lot of pushback initially coming here, because we were trying to break that stereotype. Like, we came and we didn't come to play games, you know what I mean? And so yeah, it's very important, the representation that we have, very, very important.
yeah, okay. One thing we have to bear in mind that Latinos from the Caribbean are quite different from Latinos, say, from Central and South America. So that could be part of the reason. I mean, at least as far as the Caribbean Latinos, we don't have that big of an issue.
Hey, Jose, where are you from exactly? Are you from the Caribbean?
Actually, I'm a New Rican. I was born and raised in New York.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and I see we have the intro Boricua. Good evening.
Ramon, hey, long time.
Hey
And
guys,
we
hey
also
Don
have
Jose,
he's
hey Golden,
Hey.
Madud Rakim, hey Anthony,
My
what's
boy,
going
my
on,
boy,
guys?
my boy Ramon.
Yes.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh man, I just caught the live, and it seems like we are arguing about race. No, I mean this is a serious
No, we're
topic.
not.
No,
I just,
but
I
I
just
just
wanted to say
it's
this. I'll let Ramon go. I was gonna say something after he finished.
no. I mean, it's just that I just caught the live. My bad. I didn't catch it from the beginning, but it's just that I heard you guys talking about kind of like differences in kind of like in different groups here in, at least here in the United States, who are pro having an alliance between groups, and who are the ones that are going on and on talking about that we shouldn't do that. Everybody should groups should segregate from each other. I don't know. I don't know. At least I myself, I believe in alliances. At least in alliances. If you don't want to do the whole unity, because it might have somewhat of a stigma by now because of the past, or people are feeling insecure about it because they feel like they are gonna lose something, then fine. Don't do the unity, but at least the alliance. The best example that we have is what nations do. I mean, that is alliances between nations, and nobody has to stop being who they are. Nobody has, well, ideally,
Exactly.
because if we're talking about something like NATO, And that's like at the root. That's kind of like why there is a war right now. That's where that started. It has gotten out of control and a lot of people dead. But it's because of the expansion of NATO that wasn't supposed to happen after the Second World War. That's a different thing. But I do believe that we could have a healthy alliance between groups and actually being able to find out about the things that we actually have in common and have having alliances based on that. I mean, because some people are being too scared, too insecure that they want to focus on the differences to have it as a justification to say we don't want you around us. Go away. To do the segregation thing. So don't say
Do
you
you
were
think
saying.
that it's like based on insecurity? Because it seems like it's all about sexual market value. Because on both sides, it was people like, you're just coming to get the biracial women. The other side's like, you're just trying to get the Latinas. Like, it's always about dating on YouTube, right?
So something that has to do with sex, kind of like well, I mean, I can somewhat understand that to a degree when it comes to this might get me in trouble with somebody, but kind of like with some of the mentality on some of the passport bros now, because there are some of them that do kind of like push the whole notion about getting with women specifically. And it's not necessarily being able to travel and see other places and see other people, which is as I said it before, it's an enriching experience that everybody should have. Everybody who can travel, see other places, and if meeting certain people, meet other people comes with it, that's fine, okay. But the so there are let's be honest, there are some of the passport bros that they're pushing the whole thing about hooking up in other countries. That's where it comes the whole sexual market value that I have observed. But if you're talking about kind of like biracials like yourself, Golden, and Latinos like us, I, I don't know what you mean because about the sexual market value. This is something that I need
Oh,
to
these were
be
just
put up to
comments that
date.
were going in on Radical Stream. It was just comments from people that, some
But we're
people,
not
the
talking about
trolls.
that. Yeah, but we're not talking about kind of like having an
Listen,
alliance with you with
I
biracials because we want to hook up with the opposite
I would
gender of
just
the
say this.
group. We're not
I
thinking
I I,
about that. Mhm.
All the
I would just say
biracial people
this.
that I know in real life have, to be honest, gravitated towards Latino people. So I kind of feel like we already kind of hang out anyways in real life.
Mhm. Right, right.
I would just say this really quickly when it comes to what's going on with a lot of these spaces. Like, because right now, YouTube is a free platform where everyone can voice their opinion. But I just got to keep it real. Everyone shouldn't be able to voice their opinion because what a lot of people spew sometimes is not a lot of logic in what they say.
Hmm.
And it's just about creating a following just to make themselves feel important to an extent
Yeah.
with a lot of these people on these platforms. The problem is what people are doing, especially why people are segregating and scattering, and a lot of people have this negative view and energy, is because when you look at the history of race in this country,
Hmm.
because one thing I don't want to be biased, but I hate when people have to like say like when it comes to black people, like black people were the ones that create these terms or created these laws of separation or forcing people to not identify with their other half. We know who in society did that. We know who created that situation.
Yeah.
And of course,
Mhm.
we know what has the history of been with black people in this country. And what it just, like in layman terms, it just looks like everybody we know who hoards the majority of the wealth in this country and the resources, and everyone is just scattering to separate themselves so they can get the crumbs. And that's pretty much, in my personal opinion, that's pretty much what I see. Like, it's just that I understand with, like I say, I never view biracial people as much different. I understand that they half and half, but I was like, most of the people in my family always, view biracial people as black people. Um, at least that's how I grew up. Like I said, I got biracial people within my family, and everything like that. But I understand too, it's that element there because a lot of women view other women as competition, and with the way that the European standards are in this country, if you seem to be biracial, some women are considered more aesthetically pleasing by society to be biracial, and you have some black women who feel inferior because society has pushed an inferiority complex over complexion and texture of hair, that they view those women as competition, or they view those women in a sense of jealousy, and they can become very aggressive out of their own insecurities. We understand that. I don't like. I understood it was like different light skin, dark skin jokes back in the day with the men, but I've never really viewed men. I feel like if you consider yourself a part of my group, you my brother. I got you, and that's how I've always viewed things. I've never stepped into this realm of trying to make somebody feel, you know, feel inferior. Yeah, I get that more than I get that, but it really comes down to me. What it looks like is that everyone is trying to just pretty much have their own established base for resources, and you know, separate themselves, because for some reason I just don't hear a lot of people talk about the people who did all of this stuff. I don't hear no one really speak about them. I don't hear no one really speaks about the
Because
creation
I
of
think
this
currently in this
situation.
time, white people aren't walking around telling biracial people that they're not biracial. It's generally black people. Let's be honest. That's probably why. You know.
Well, it's a lot of the times it's because a lot of biracial people are more around black people. I don't like that's the thing. Who keeping you from being around these other groups of people? Why are you not around those other groups of people? Why don't people
Who said
push
biracial people
themselves?
aren't around those other groups of people? We're biracial. We're around white and black people.
Well, I like for the most part, it seems like the most biracials that I grew up with or grew up around, they was around black people. They because I've also seen biracial people who have problems with that other side of their family because they wasn't accepted on that other side of the
Yeah,
family
it
more so
definitely
than they
goes
was
both
accepted
ways.
on the black side. So,
Yeah.
but I don't never hear the full statement. I always hear it's about black people, black people, black people. I never hear the other side of that.
Well, I
Mm.
definitely have videos on my channel talking about the treatment that white people inflict as well. Not everybody is so balanced in this space. I do understand that and acknowledge that, but I do try.
Yeah. Yeah.
My personal experience, everybody's different. There's a lot of people in the States that have had a harder time with black people. I've had a harder time with white people. So we're all different. That's the thing about being mixed. We all have different experiences depending on where we live, what class you are, all these different factors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to acknowledge the fact that the Afro Saxon is in the chat. Good evening, and of course the Intro Boricua has his own platform. As if you have not done so, please subscribe to the Intro Boricua and check out his material.
Yes.
Yeah, I have to go live soon. I gotta make sure to let you guys know.
I tend to do that on my platform.
What was that? I didn't
And
hear.
I really appreciate the fact that it's currently 13. Okay. No, I really appreciate the fact that it's 13 people viewing the stream. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. All right, hit the like, guys.
Yeah.
I would like
Hit
to
the
say something though. Like the other guy was talking about how like, oh, we're like a lot of black people do view us as being accepted, but it's only on condition. That's the issue. It's like you're accepted as long as you keep your mouth shut, right? And as long as like you're a woman, because it's like if you're a man, you're not accepted like that. You're just not, because a woman could pretty much we could see it with Michi X, right? She gets, has 70,000 subscribers, right? She gets followers from men and women, but then like for me, for example, when I go into these pro-black spaces, I get called Cave Beast. I get called all the types of names in the book, right? And it's like if I call that out, nobody really gives a shit about that. So it's kind of like it's just on condition you're accepted as long as you kind of stay in your place, kind of thing, and you don't try to speak for black people. But here's my thing: like if you can't speak for a community, then you're really not part of that community. That's just what it is.
Yeah, I think with black culture though, I think we kind of have this thing where it's kind of like you sweep, you don't put your business on Front Street. What do they, you don't put your dirty laundry on Front. So when they see these people that are biracials coming out and they're like putting the dirty laundry on Front Street, they're offended because they're like, hold on, we've been the victims this whole time. How dare y'all come out and make us to be villains?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not saying black people are villains, but I'm just saying that certain people have bad experiences. Let's be honest. We all have, like I say, it depends on where you're from. If you're growing up in the hood and you're light and bright, you're going to have a different experience than a monoracial black person, period. Just like if you grow up in an all-white area. I've lived in both. When you stand out and you're different than everybody else, then you're going to have some positive attention and some negative attention.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. And
I mean, when it comes to, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, you were saying something, Jose. Go on. There might be a
Okay,
delay.
no, but let me just give you a perfect case. Let me just give you a perfect case in point when it comes to Puerto Ricans that were born on the mainland compared to Puerto Ricans that were born on the island. Okay, while we do have some common concerns, there are certain concerns that only applicable, say, to the Caribbean Puerto Ricans, because much as I may sympathize with Ramon's situation, I may not understand fully his situation because I was not born and raised on the island. And there might be certain situations that Ramon may not fully understand because he was he lives in the mainland but wasn't born on the mainland. Ramon, am I wrong in saying that?
No, you're right. You're correct. You're correct in that. Just like because if you're talking about islanders, you're talking about somebody like me because I am an islander. I have only been living in the U.S. for a few short years, and I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn about what it is to be a New Yorican because of through my brother-in-law who is from the Bronx, and he's a New Yorican. But as an islander, I do see things differently. We were talking about that last night on Kishel's channel, where I was mentioning that in Puerto Rico, as an islander, the whole talk about race is not really a thing. The whole thing about race, we don't really talk about it. We talk about other things that have to do with the issues in the economy, the local politics, issues of crime, the local drug trade that fuels a lot of the violence that those happen on the island. Those are the things that are really more important. The whole thing about race is really not a thing, and that's something that and somebody here from the States will be very quick to say, no, but you say the whole better the race thing and all that. Okay, yes, I'm familiar with the phrase, but that was a thing that my great grandma will talk about, will mention. Yes, that was a thing at one time. But if, like I said, my great grandma was the one who would talk like that. My grandmothers never talked about that, and my mom really never talked about that. There have been certain progress made when it comes to that, because if my great grandma were still alive, she would be over 100 years old. She was a product of a different time. So significant progress has been made when it comes to that. Being Puerto Rican comes first. It's not race what comes first. And whatever mixture that you are, nobody cares. And I wish it would be a little bit more like that here in the States, where
I just feel like that's a little bit disingenuous. And I was married to a Puerto Rican man. My kids are half Puerto Rican, and even the grandma would say things like that, and it would never come from a place of maliciousness or or hate, just culture, I would say, where it's like, oh, this one's a little bit browner, she needs to find a white one. This one's a little bit more whiter, he needs to find a brown one to kind of get him somewhere in the middle. You know what I mean? So I do
Okay.
think it's a part of the culture.
No, and that's fine, and that's fine. But you're mentioning the grandma of your children. Okay, if she talk like that, fine. But I'm telling you what my
But not
grandma
out of hate,
were.
out of like joking,
Uh-huh. No, and that's fine. That's fine. I did hear about the phrase and the about the old from the older generations. There might be remnants of that mentality, of course, but these days with the younger generations, they're too worried about the things that have to do with the gentrification of the island and the things that have to do with the economy, corruption from the politicians, the the generations, the more current generations, are more worried about those things than race, because that's not going to make a difference. Putting any thinking into that's not going to change what is really a problem. I'm telling you, somebody who was born and raised there, and I wish that we could concentrate on those things here in the states, the things that we actually have in common, that we can actually make a connection about, not trying to drag these arguments about the differences and concentrating about the indifferences because of what certain people are being insecure about. Okay, if you are of a certain complexion, certain race, and all of that, you take that in, celebrate it, look up when it comes to your ancestors and all of that, but be also somebody that can be open minded to other groups and the things that they can have in common. They can get along, and there isn't all this arguing and all because it comes from a place of some type of insecurity. Those that are always focusing on the differences, to use it as an excuse to stay separate and wanting to and wanting to argue and beefy. But I see it more of an online thing. It seems more of
Hey,
an online thing. Uh-huh.
hey, good evening.
Definitely. Hey, what's up, Don? How you doing, man?
I'm chilling.
Hey, what's up,
Hey,
Good
Don?
Golden
evening, Don
Goddess, how you
Armando.
doing? Good
Good.
Armando,
evening,
hey,
Evening.
Don Jose.
what's going on?
Not much,
Good
I
evening.
just came back from seeing Wakanda Forever. It was a great movie.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's just I'm reading and hearing some of the criticism, and there are critics that are tearing the movie apart. It's being torn to shreds, talking about how much of a step down, how it took a step backwards in comparison to the first one, and
But the thing is, though, the story does make sense because they went up and they fitted to the passing of Chadwick Boseman.
yeah.
So what they did with that was, I guess they incorporated it that T'Challa passed away from an unknown illness,
Hmm.
but at the end there was a cliffhanger. That's all I got to say. Then it surprised me and the wife when we watched it.
Okay, okay. Oh, that's good. That's good. Uh,
Yeah,
if I were to check it out, I would like to see it because of that. There are certain things certain scenes that were actually filmed in Puerto Rico. So I would like to be able to see about and recognize
they said
some of
that
the beaches.
and
Hmm.
they said that it was Puerto Rico and Haiti that they actually filmed the places at.
Yeah, yeah. There might have been scenes filmed in Puerto Rico that was standing as IT. Because of the instability in IT, I don't know if it would have been safe to bring a film crew there. So there were scenes that may have been filmed really in Puerto Rico, standing in for IT.
I mean, if you actually look at it, I was actually saying that it was a movie that was that there's a part in Haiti that is owned by a certain company or whatever. So therefore, if anybody was to actually go to that part in Haiti, which I believe is called Labadee, I mean, the only thing is though, you just step on the island and you just vacation there and then go back on the boat because that company Royal Caribbean actually owns that island. So yeah,
I see. Okay.
yeah, just like Coco Cay up in the Bahamas. Royal Caribbean actually owns it, so therefore nobody who's actually right there could actually settle on the island unless if they were working there.
Yeah. I just want to mention that Don Armando also has a YouTube channel. So I'm going to ask if you have not done so, please check us his contact. Anthony, do you have a YouTube channel as well?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I'm going to ask that everyone check out his YouTube channel as well. I'm going to check it out as soon as I get a chance. If you can...
Appreciate it.
What's the name of your channel?
It's just my name, like Mr. Anthony Ali.
Okay.
All right, but I'll actually come up and support your channel.
All right, I appreciate it.
Anytime, Anthony.
Yeah. That's something that I do quite a bit on my streams. Whenever I see other YouTube creators either in the panel or in the chat, I encourage the audience to please check out that content.
I was just complaining that I don't get 18th letters notifications, and one just came through. Did you just upload?
Oh, me?
The 18th letter. Oh,
I don't think he's on the panel.
Oh, okay. Never mind. My bad.
Let me see. I just
Yeah,
got
live right now.
Yeah, to Taino Night. How you doing?
You were saying, Jose.
I just got, I don't understand. It seems like YouTube sends notifications sometimes and sometimes they don't. I don't understand why.
Well, I did get it. I did get your notification. It's just that I couldn't tune in right away.
I wanted to ask Anthony, how did you find this space, or who did you find first?
It's actually funny. So I found Radical Latinos page, right? So I've been following him for a while, and he did a show with Magic Mulata. So that's how I found the space, and then I went over there, and then I found everybody from over there.
Okay, cool.
I heard about this space, but I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even think it.
You cut off.
In Spear, I'm like, I thought it was a joke. I was like, you serious? So then I ended up finding it, and I'm like, oh, it's an actual thing. Like that's interesting.
That's the sad part, that people automatically assume it's a joke because we don't have spaces.
Yeah, I thought it was a joke. But yeah.
Okay.
Well, the fact of the matter
Everybody
is
got
we can
awkwardly quiet.
I wasn't just saying that to be mean. I was just saying, like, I thought it was kind of like a joke. Like, I'm like, what?
Go ahead, Jose.
Okay, no, but in all fairness, we can always learn a great deal regarding the biracial and multiracial community, as long as we approach it with an open mind and not have any prejudgments regarding, just because we do see some people acting out, so to speak.
Yeah. Hence my funny name. Right now, I'm just like, hey, since it's Thanksgiving or anything like that, hey, let's just have a funny name. So it could mean anything to anybody, but hey,
okay,
it is what it is.
I mean, yourself a building.
Well,
Come on, man.
According to one person, I'm an old senile white man.
Well, you know what? That guy has no vigor, so therefore don't worry about what he has to say.
Yeah.
Yo, that's funny. A person want to go around and call themselves vigor and they got no energy. That joint is funny.
Or,
Look
be-
at that
Ah,
laugh.
or better yet, calling himself Hybrid the hero. He more like Hybrid the zero.
The shade, honey.
nah, me farting on his platform is shade. We're just giving him free promotion because he's a fart bag. And then when people get disinterested in his channel, and start reporting him and everything like that, they'll know why. Just like that idiot, what's his name? How should I say? I don't even know what to say to call him anymore.
You talking
I'll
about
just
Kim?
say I'll just call him Sperm Baster 123 because he could talk all the stuff that he wants. Like, we know your secret already, bro. You're gay.
So is Kim
You
123 the troll of y'all's community, of y'all's sector?
Apparently, I hear about a lot about him.
He
Apparently,
came trolling
he's
us, and we were like, we didn't even know. Like at that point, like to be honest, the Latinos weren't even on the radar because we were just dealing with each other. And then he came
yeah.
out of nowhere attacking us, and we're like, what the hell? Like that came from left field. We didn't expect that one, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is though that guy has issues because apparently um it was somebody that certain people don't get along with in these streets. They actually went up and told me that this guy went up and tried to approach them back in the day, and he said like, yo, this dude is gay. So
Mm,
you know
mm.
Sperm Baster 123, he could go around and talk about everything, but yet he always slips up when he says something suspect. And even I was talking to Marquise like the other day. Yeah, it was actually yesterday. And it was like, yo, he's been dealing with this dude for a long time. And this guy always has the same narrative when it comes towards black men going to Latin America and being with women. And he always talks this stuff and he has like a fan base. And then one of the chicks that was up on Radical's page, Maria, will always be co-signing him. So I'm like, at the end of the day, this chick is a bird.
Yeah, I
And
really want to see what that woman
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
like, honestly.
Recently, I heard about the Maria girl, and yeah, I think it was on Magic's channel. I think it was. It was.
Yeah,
It
I want to
was.
mention that too because I don't like that. I don't like going over there and cyber slurping them people when all they do is talk shit about biracials. I don't agree with that. Okay.
Mhm.
Like I said, hence the tragic mulatto bullshit. Like, we don't go to people's platforms and cyber slurp them when they make anti-biracial content all day long. Like, it's a no-no.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw
especially
the
somebody
video. I
who
saw the video
Excuse
that you
me.
put up. Oh,
No, I
go
just
on,
want
Jose.
to acknowledge that cultural. I just want to acknowledge that cultural politics 2.0 and Adonis on the chat. Good evening, good people. Thank you very much. And cultural also has a platform, so please check it out. When it comes to Kim 123, I mean, basically, it's the same thing. Yeah, no, that there is a struggle with the ass Latinas.
He's sitting out there telling her, you need to sit down with your parents and really have a discussion because, we're not supposed to exist, apparently. I don't know what Kim's deal is or whatever. I guess it's just anti-American in
He's a milk
general.
drinker. That's
And
what
we're
his
just like
deal
the
is.
flavor of the week.
He's
No,
just
no,
a
but
milk drinker. That's it. That's a known milk drinker. I'm just saying it. He always want to talk crap about men and everything like that, but everybody knows he drinks man milk. That's it.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. No, but Golden, for real, I'm assuring you. I assure you, this is a faction. This is kind of like a faction, apparently, of Hispanic Americans that have a mentality like that. They don't represent the majority.
No,
Like,
no, no. I know. I definitely know that. I mean, like I said, I have real life Spanish people in my family. Like, I get that. Kim, he's definitely a troll.
mhm.
Nah, he's not a troll. He's just a dude who's jealous of women, and because he necessarily really needs man milk because he just don't want to live in his own reality. That's all I got to say.
And the
Yeah,
only
I was on
reason
his
why
page and he was.
Maria was being nice is because she submitted to her ass. Because Maria is a demon. Let's be honest.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah, she
Yeah, I don't
is.
even know her that much, but just by like the little I seen from her, I was like, this sounds like a wicked woman. Like, and she even wrote on my page the other day, like, oh, we're trying to do a biracial space. Do you want to come? I'm like, what is it about? Oh, I don't really know. I just never wrote back. I was about to write back, like, yeah, let me see what you look like first, and then maybe I'll do it. But I'm like, I don't know. I don't
Oh,
look
no,
like that too.
And
I don't think
she
she
was
even uses
doxxed. I don't
an
know if it's true,
avatar.
but Marquise doxed her. Marquise doxed her. And she's not even attractive. She just looks like an older, regular, like she looks like somebody's abuela, okay? And she's out
Oh,
here talking about people, dragging people. You seen how mean she was to Hazel, saying that she
Yeah.
was deformed and all that? They hide behind
yeah.
avatars and want to drag people on their looks.
And I
Okay.
For
saw
me,
her in the comments of
for
some
me
racist.
personally, it's like I'm dying to see like what these two trolls who are on Fighter's page actually look like. Blood Moon and the one who calls herself Simply Q, because they get on my nerves.
I
I'm
want to
gonna
know
be
about
honest.
Guyana Goblin.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I think she's one of the only two women
Guyana
that will talk to Kim because apparently they are Guyanas. I mean, there are a couple of Guyanas or so-called Guyanas that talk to Kim. So,
Yeah, I call her Guyanese Goblin just to be petty.
Guyanese Goblin. Man.
Jose, that laugh.
But but you know what? You have to laugh when you think about these so-called YouTube creators or losers, as I prefer to say. I have a term for these individuals. They are known as the mentally and intellectually challenged.
Mm-hmm. All right.
No, but a lot of these people are really filled with hate. It's really sad, actually, and it's just sad. I don't think that our community should be supporting these people, especially when they're making,
Yeah, sad. It's
content against us, clowning us,
I'm like me personally. It's like this. You got a whole bunch of people who hate me about whatever or anything like that, and me personally, I'm just at the point that I don't really give a fuck because at the end of the day, half of these guys can't even be in positions of employment anyway. Most of them, they just live in their house and they try to say that they have a revolution. When the fact is, they don't even and claim to themselves to be alpha male. When the fact is, they don't even own a business. So, me personally, who the heck are them? Are those to be how should I say leaders anyway? They're just idiots.
Yeah. Well, there are the types
yeah.
that will have like 6-7 hour live stream and just talking in circles about the same thing. And that's not they're not revolting anything.
Mr. Anthony, thank you very much for stopping by. Please feel free to hop on whenever you're able. But look, the fact of the matter is, these YouTube streets are full of these mentally challenged individuals. Okay, I mean, some of these people need to be placed in a 72-hour restricted observation, to be placed in a rubber room with a straitjacket.
Yeah. There are but seriously, there are some types that do need some help. I mean, at least they need to talk to somebody like our guy, Tim Tim Delgado, who is like a counselor. Yeah, they need to talk to somebody who can actually address what is it that what their grief is or what the problem is. I mean, they will if they are willing to admit that there is something wrong with them, because that will be the first step, admitting that there is something wrong, that there is something that is not conducive to be able to function well in society and with other people. If they can do that at least, and then go from there, trying to get some help. So that's yeah.
To me is this. It's like you have certain people who claim to be maybe revolutionaries when the fact is they can do revolutionary stuff to save their lives. So
Hmm.
and me personally, it's and tell you the truth, it's not my first time that I've actually came across individuals like that. Before I actually came from the YouTube space or anything like that. Me and another friend, I don't know if you ever I don't know if you remember the last time we spoke. It was like one of the times that we spoke, and I had one of my other friends that actually came on the panel on my channel. His name is Jesse Tomas. So me and a lot of these other guys, right? These are the same guys like in the Dominican Republic when black Dominican actually talks about like, okay, yeah, this is a part of our history too. These are the same guys that will actually go and say, oh yeah, you're Afro Nazis or whatever the case may be. Which the fact is, it doesn't make any sense because they want to actually equate that all African Americans support Haiti when the fact is some of them don't. So you got these guys who want to bring American style racism to the
Mhm.
Dominican Republic.
Mhm.
And it's been like around 2018. I've always seen those types.
Gigi, thank you very much for stopping by. Please remember that you always have a place here in my cyber home.
Well, well, I don't know exactly who you will mean, but there are the types that there are the types of Afro Americans that go on and on talking about it's something that they like to throw it in Dominicans' faces about the differences that they have with the Haitians,
Yeah,
and
but the thing is though,
particularly the FBA.
the thing is though, half of those dudes, right?
Mhm.
Sorry to say, they don't own a passport, so therefore they could talk about history and everything like that. But if you never been to the land, don't talk about it. That's like me saying like, oh yeah, I know everything about China, right? But I never been to the land. You get what I'm trying to say?
No. Yeah. No,
So
but a lot of these guys are they don't have passports, and that the ones that
exactly.
are talking about that they're gonna get their passport, but they're already telling you with that they don't have a passport, so they don't travel. They're telling you that also at the same time. So they talk a lot about places that they haven't been, and they're just really parroting. They're parroting something that they heard from someone else that they look up to. I mean,
I mean, if you actually look at it, right? Like, okay, you know the Kyrie and Kanye situation, whatever the case may be, right?
mhm.
And most of the stuff that Kanye or Kyrie or whatever it is, everybody been hearing that since forever. Like for me, right? You see these same guys who are on 125th Street from the dawn of time, right? They have all these books about Black history and everything like that. And I never really listened to them because they were fake. That's how I regarded it.
You're talking about the guys that will stand on a corner and they will be preaching and things like that.
Yes.
Oh, okay. No, but this is something that might there will be somebody that might not like this, but I mean, somebody who is Afro American. There is the Schomburg Center for Research that they
Oh yeah,
could go there. I mean, that
and
place that was started by a Puerto Rican.
exactly. And a lot of people who know what they know, they actually give respect to Schomburg. But these guys are so-called dudes that they want to how should I say, rewrite history, whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
They just they're just on something ignorant, and it's been stuff that I've been hearing ever since I was a kid. I even had one of them stop me. He was like, "Yo, fam, good brother," or something like that. Do you know something about Kim? And I was like, I just kept it moving. Because at the end of the day, you're not talking about something that I already know. I have friends who do that and stuff. I might take it into consideration, but to me personally, a lot of these guys, when they talk about history and everything like that, you have one thing that lacks everything what you say, which is archaeological evidence. Now, if you have no archaeological evidence of what you're saying, I'm not going to believe you. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me. I just want to say, Jay, for conversation, thank you very much for stopping by. Feel free to come on the chat whenever you are available. But other people love to talk what they don't know. I mean, I think the best way to describe it is that their mouth isn't kind of brain neutral. That kind of gives you an idea how old I am. That those are the days when you have.
You're cutting out. You're cutting out. Couldn't hear you.
Okay. No, I'm just saying that you have certain people that love to talk about stuff you know about.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are those types, and
Yeah.
they might speak with a lot of confidence and conviction, but that doesn't make them right. Yeah. And the thing is that there are some of these people that they do have followers, and they believe everything that they say, and they don't think on their own. They don't do their own thinking. They don't do their own reading, at least, about what it is that is being alleged. Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll give you a perfect example, Don Jose. There's a famous YouTuber by the name of Hassan Campbell, right? So
Okay.
he was going on ranting about another YouTuber / rapper by the name of Spider Loke. So Spider Loke and I, we actually know each other for a lot of years, and we actually talk often when we used to be on Instagram. So one day he was saying something which was very incorrect about Spider Loke, saying, okay, he was like, how the heck you was in the company with G Unit and everything like that? You got no business and stuff like that. You got no record label, and you got no clothing brand. How the heck you even call yourself an entrepreneur and trying to go in on Spider Loke? So I went up on this guy's page. I was like, yo, fam, what you talking is incorrect. That guy has his own label, and he actually has his own clothing line. You know what happened when I went up and I actually revealed the truth? I went up and I got blocked.
No.
Yeah.
You went against the narrative. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So therefore, some of these YouTubers, they want to get in their feelings when they know they want to talk something when they want to talk something crap about somebody, then they want to get blocked when the real truth actually comes out.
Yeah.
Well, remember that there's a phrase that some people cannot handle the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we know certain people, which I'm not going to mention.
Yeah. Yeah. But what what can you do? I mean, when the more I think about these characters, I mean, at times you do have to laugh because I mean, it's like it's like they try to be what they're not, and
Jose,
can you hear
Jose,
me?
you got yeah, it's you
Yeah,
caught
can you
out
hear
for a
me?
moment. Yeah, yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, it's just that I don't know whether it's the Wi-Fi or it's the laptop. Okay, I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi or the laptop. It's one of the two.
Hmm.
So, so Ramon, when you doing a stream?
Let me see if I can do a little something tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Tuesday. It's just that I'm trying to do a stream. If I do a stream, I try to do it when I'm free and clear. Somebody bigger is not gonna be doing a stream because then nobody's gonna watch. Nobody's gonna show up. Nobody's gonna watch it. And something that I like to do, I like the interactions because I'm not very good at getting on a platform and just do a whole bunch of talking. I'm not very good at that, so that's why I appreciate kind of like having the interactions of kind of like a couple of people and so on, and going from there. But yeah. Let me see what I can do either tomorrow or on Tuesday. I need to check out the scheduling for all of you guys, including you, Jose, because I don't know if you're gonna be doing something tomorrow. But yeah, I believe I'm gonna be doing something good.
Actually, I'm
Hmm.
not doing anything.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, tomorrow, Tuesday, I'm gonna be doing the stream regarding do high body count matter?
Oh, okay. So it's not on your channel. Who's doing that?
It's gonna be on my channel on Tuesday.
Ah, on Tuesday. Okay. You are gonna be doing that. Well, to put it short, it depends. Not that it depends. It has to be very low, particularly when it's not so important for men, but as a man, you can't be a male slut either, because that's somebody who wants to stick it into whatever hole becomes available, and that's not a very good for a man's image. A man has to have some type of
Stand-
discipline. Yeah.
or standards.
So some type of discipline and standards, both of those. Definitely, when it comes to women, that is even more important because it's more appreciated when the man has some experience, so he can coach his woman, and all. But the woman is she's being ran through. No man in his right mind wants a woman like that. But that's all I'm gonna say because maybe I'll hop in on your stream and elaborate a little bit more on that. But yeah. To put it in a few words, in a few words, yeah, it matters. The thing is that both men and women are gonna be lying about it, about the numbers. So sometimes, is it worth asking? That's another thing. That's another thing that can be talked about. Like I said, I
I
mean, both
mean, I
both
mean,
men
at
and
that,
women are gonna lie
Yeah.
about it.
I'm,
The way I'm gonna
I mean, the only thing is like, okay, like say if a person got ran through, whatever the case may be, right? I mean, it depends on the certainty of time or whatever. Because if you actually look at it, right? Let's be honest. Everybody
Mhm.
has a sexual history. You know what I'm trying to say, like it or not. So the only
Yeah.
thing is, though, is not you got certain people who are immature who are jerks or whatever. And they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, like, oh yeah, you went up and did this or did that, whatever. I've actually seen that, and it caused a lot of fights. So I mean, a lot of fist fights and people getting shot just for no apparent reason. So
Yeah. It's just for some simple, stupid things. People end up dying about it. Yeah, it's very unfortunate, but we're living in those times, and people don't give a shit. I mean, they're thinking with their emotions. They're not
Yeah.
thinking at all. Mhm.
now the thing is though about that, you got certain people who are not actually emotionally intelligent. I'm guilty of this also. But the thing is though, when you talk about emotional intelligence, right? You have certain guys, right? That they might have seen somebody that they ran through or something like that, and they see her now just living her life and stuff. It's not for the fact that the guy wants her; he just wants to shame her just because he wants to be a dick. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear you. I hear you. It's just that maybe a little bit of an embarrassment might not be so bad because if the behavior, certain behaviors are always excused and no level of accountability or just at least a little bit of embarrassment, so they don't feel good about it. That's not brought in to the discussion, then it's almost like encouraging it. We're living in a time where it's like us men. I'm not trying to make this about us versus them when it comes to the sexes, but we're living in a time when men are held accountable. We cannot avoid accountability, but to a certain degree, women can. So, and that's what I can take issue with that because it's a society that kind of like cautions more women's feelings. I don't think that they are in the wrong, but when it comes to men are the first one that are all of are told that we should have known better, we should have chosen better. It's our problem, the consequences, and the accountability is gonna be there. I mean, there is more compassion for the women.
I mean, yeah, but then it depends on certain aspects too, because we live in a time where there's a lot of jerks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, but you know what they say. You know what they say. That's how women like them. When they go to the
I
jerks
mean,
with the assholes and all. Those are the ones that get the women.
Mhm.
I mean, it
Well,
Yep.
depends
mhm.
because sometimes a nice guy could actually get a woman too, but then the thing is though,
Guys,
The run through woman.
I'm going to
Yeah.
start the one. So final remarks. So we're going to go to the latest member of the Golden Spear, who wants to be
Oh hell
buried
no.
in snow, who wants to go
No.
skinny dipping in Coney Island and
No, no, no. It will kill me. No, sir. No, 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 no. But Don Jose, I know. You're about to wrap up, but I wanted to say thanks for letting me on the panel as usual. Just wanted to come by a little bit and show some support, and basically because this was an open panel, not much else I have to say. I'm looking forward to the next one, and again, thanks for having me. And shout out to Armando Raquin, who was here earlier. Golden also, Armando. What was the other guy? Anthony. I was forgetting. And shout out to the chat too. I appreciate it, Don Jose.
Anthony. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah. Okay. Thank you. So, Don Armando, your final.
well, my final thoughts is like, hey, at the end of the day, thank you for having me on my panel. You know, thanks to my avatar that I just actually put out, because at the end of the day, I try to come in with the funny avatars because sometimes people need a laugh. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
And shout out
Okay.
to Golden Goddess
Okay.
and Magic Malata and Don Jose.
Oh, Magic was here earlier.
Well,
Okay.
I saw her in the streams earlier, so
Well, first
Oh,
of all,
okay.
I just want to
not the
thank.
stream. I mean the chat, the live chat.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to her. If she's listening. Like, yeah, shout out to her.
Yeah. So, first of all, I want to give a huge shout out and everybody on the chat. I'm not going to start mentioning names because I don't want to like overlook anybody and someone get upset. So I want to thank everyone who kept it going, and in the chat. I want to thank everyone who appeared on the platform, which was, of course, we had the Intro Boricua, we had Don Armando, we had Golden Goddess, and Joaquin. The whole purpose of this open discussion is to talk about whatever is on our mind. And I'm glad to see that it was a very productive stream and there was a lot of interaction involved. And we also had some fun. I just want to let everybody know that this Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I will have a discussion. Does the high body count matter? So the whole purpose is to have a discussion regarding it and to have some sort of like a interchange, and let's see what other people has to say on the subject, because there are popular opinions regarding both sides of the argument. I do appreciate that I've gained 2 new subs tonight. Thank you very much, and I really appreciate all the love and support. Okay.
All
I need
right,
to
yeah,
take care of something.
yeah, we
I
have
need to take care
to.
of because unfortunately,
Yeah, find love in your city. Like, really?
Mhm.
Yo, to me is this. Out of every stream that a person could go right there, they have to go on Don Jose with that crap. I'm like for real though. Like not like all the men are not capable to go and find a girl in their city. Like, are you for real? I'm like this.
Okay,
I'm
yeah, this needs to be blocked. This needs to be blocked.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This
I'm
must
like,
be
come on.
a link for some hookup shit.
I'm like at the end of the day, this is 2022, and if anybody's that desperate, all they need to do is go to I don't know, a cruise. That's
Mhm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'll do even one better. There's like a whole bunch of apps out there. Just I don't know why people treat YouTube as a hookup place. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, you know what? Bless their hearts. That's all I'm gonna say about it. And then even when they mentioned it, that's why when I saw this person, I decided, you know what? Let me not even say anything and just block the person. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all you can really do. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just putting links or addresses or for some hookup site or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to block an
Well,
crazy ex of mine's on one of my streams because she went up and made the wrong thing of mentioning my actual name. Now, now the thing is, though, I do a stream and everything like that, but I don't want certain people in my job to know that I'm actually a YouTuber or anything like that because their minds is not there. So
Mm-hmm.
my thing is that okay, yeah, I'm trying to do a stream about something. I got a crazy ex that went up say and still thinks that she's gonna get back with me. When the fact is she don't even know that I'm a married man now. So my thing is that, A, you're not gonna see me. 2, you're not gonna see me, and then 3, you're not gonna get my money because my money is going to my wife. It's not gonna go to you. What the heck are you gonna do? You're gonna go around and we're gonna have arguments about stuff like that when we was in a relationship. So why the heck you want me now? I'm like, get out of here. I ain't got time for that
Well,
junk.
well, all I'm gonna say to the members of the mentally and intellectually challenged, bless their hearts. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, bless their hearts, actually.
But in any case, I'm sorry. You gotta have a sense of humor.
Yeah,
At
on
times.
top. Yeah, then you know what? You gotta say bless their hearts to those over fertile women too, because I don't know, but rumor has it that a certain YouTuber might be trapped, but that's none of my business though. So that's all.
Certain YouTuber.
Okay.
Well, we're
Yeah.
gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it because I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious who you're talking about, but you don't have to say names right now.
No, I'm not gonna say any names because
I mean,
because it's not important. But the thing is, though, from what I heard from a last stream, I don't know who it was, but they were saying that a certain person impregnated is actually impregnated one of one of the commenters, one of the famous commenters. So it's saying that now she's expecting this YouTuber's baby, and that's all I got to say.
Ooh.
you know
Well,
something.
well.
There's something. Okay. Well. You know what? Bless their hearts. That's all I'm gonna say.
Exactly. And bust that child too.
But let me try to wrap this up because I want us to support our friend Joaquin. But when everything is said and done, I'm glad we were able to have free discussions and what have you with intelligent people. So I'm going to close the same way I always close. Let us be good to each other. That being said, I hope to see you again at a future stream. This has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose. And to all of you, a good night and take care. Peace.
Strong.